Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Tamara and I run the beauty and travel blog LOVEROFSHADES.com. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. Therefore, anytime I drop a new video, you'll be notified, which is normally about 2 times a week. Want to give a few disclaimers before we jump into the tutorial. You might hear some background noise. I live in New York and there's been a lot of fireworks going on lately, so if you hear it, I apologize, but I'm going to try my best to minimize the noise. Also, you might hear me with a slight stuffy nose. Unfortunately, I'm still suffering from allergies, but I'm going to try my best to minimize that as well. So what I'm going to do is move ahead with my Shades Academy series, and I'm going to show you guys today how to do graphic liner. So I'm going to be featuring 2 palettes. The first palette is what I'm going to use for graphic liner, and this is the Hyper Color palette by Suva Beauty. I've been following them on Instagram for a while and I got the palette not too long ago. Now the great thing about this eyeshadow palette is it could be used both for eyeshadows, but these colors could also be used for liner. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and it will be my first time using this palette, so it will be a little bit of a learning curve, but we could learn both together. And my oldie but goodie palette, I don't think I ever put it on a tutorial though, is my Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I'm going to use this for my regular eyeshadow look. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and set my eyeshadow look. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my eyeshadow tutorial if you need a refresher on how to apply eyeshadow, but we're just going to move right on along. So I'm going to use my Graftobian Inclusion Palette, and I'm going to just take a pretty light color, so like maybe around here, and I'm just going to simply put this on my eye as my base. So since we're moving forward with the eyeshadow first, and I'm going to do like pretty much a cut crease so I could do the graphic liner to come out better, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I'm going to take a pretty deep color. So I'm going to start off here with this purple right here. And with my blending brush, I'm just simply going to blend it out into the crease. The next color I'm going to go ahead and use is this pink right here. I'm going to put it on top of where I put the purple and blend that further out into the crease. This is going to create a softer blending effect. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. So in order for us to do that, especially since I'm going to be using very bright colors, you need to get a very light eyeshadow base. So the one that I'm using today is by P. Louise, and this is the base in the color Rumor 1. So it's a pretty light base, as you can see right here. I'm actually going to put, I had already put some on my palette, but I'm going to put a little bit more. Therefore, I can really work it with a flat concealer brush, and then I'm going to just go ahead and cut the crease. So as you can see, I have it here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I already went ahead and did my half cut crease, also known as a half crease. So what I'm going to do is, I don't really have a direct look in mind for the graphic liner, but I do know that I want some pretty bright colors. So I'm just going to choose an array of colors here, and you'll just see me blend them together on my lids. So what I'm going to do in order to achieve that look is I'm going to take a small detail brush, and I'm also going to take a small, very dense eyeshadow brush, and you're going to see me put them on and then blend them out. Now, if you need a refresher on which brushes to use or what makeup tools to use, go ahead and check out my very first video under my Shades Academy playlist. Alright, so I had tried off camera just to be sure, so I'm not like too far off the deep end. about how to do the graphic liner, and I think I got it down pat, and I think I have a method that is easy enough to follow. So the good thing about the Hypercolor palette is that you could activate these into liners by simply using water. So as you can see, I went ahead and played with a few. I had tried it on my hand. I should have took some video footage of it, but I didn't, so I apologize. But I'm going to show you how to do it. So what I'm going to do for the top is I'm going to use the UV Glow line, and I'm going to use this really deep blue color. It's called Cloud 9. So what you want to do is you want to take a liner brush. So you could do either the angled one or the straight one. I'm going to go ahead and use the straight one. Now, if you need a refresher on what brushes to use, go ahead and check out my very first video on Shades Academy under my Shades Academy playlist, where I cover makeup tools and brushes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of water. So this is filled with water, and you want to take your makeup brush and swirl it around in the water. Okay? So I don't know if you guys can see, but it's quite wet. Now you don't want it too wet, but you do need it damp, okay? So I just went ahead and tapped on the side for a little bit. I'm gonna put this water down. I'm extremely clumsy, so I'm trying to avoid it, you know, falling all over the place. Then what I'm going to do, also have a palette on hand, or the back of your hand ready to use. What you're going to do is, they recommend that you take the very edge of the pan and you swipe. You see how it's wet? It's getting wet. You swipe your brush around like this, because what you want it is you want it to be in a liquid form. You don't want it to be too dry, and that's where I was messing up with a little bit trying it on my own, because it's not going to line right. It's going to line very cakey. You're going to have leftover residue from the eyeshadow pan, and you don't want that. You want a liner. So if I was to take what I have right now and do a line, you see that? That is what you want, okay? So because I went ahead and applied it there, I'm just going to put a little bit, dip my brush into a little bit of water. What I'm going to do is on my pan, I'm going to go ahead and spread that out. You see how right here, it's on my pan? The reason why is because when it's time to re-dip into the palette, remember it's an eyeshadow palette. Eyeshadows are pressed powders. You don't want to oversaturate your pan, the eyeshadow pan, with too much water, because it's going to disintegrate. It's not going to hold as a solid, and you're going to be pissed off when you're ready to use it as regular eyeshadow later. So what you want to do is you want to wet your brush. What I like to do is just tap it a little bit on my palette so I can get that excess water off. And then I'm going to go ahead into that corner. I'm going to swish it around. Make sure I get enough product. Then I'm going to take then I'm going to take a compact mirror, like my MAC compact mirror here, and I'm going to line this along my cut crease. You see how I'm using small tapping motions? I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want to spread it. With the brush, you could control how much product you put on, but again, the brush is still slightly damp, so you don't know if the product's going to run or not. So I always recommend using slight tapping motions while you're putting on your graphic liner or your liner period. Therefore, you have better control of how much product actually goes onto your eye, rather than it could drip, you know, run anything, and then you have to start all over. So you don't want that. Remember that leftover that I told you I put? I'm going to mix my brush into this, because remember, I'm already re-dampening my brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix it in with the UV Glow again, with the Cloud 9. Just in the corner. Again, you don't want to mess your eyeshadow pan up. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So I'm going to leave the inner corners alone for right now, because I'm going to put a different color there, but I want to go ahead and line along my lash line. So I'm going to use a different color. The next product that I want to use in the palette is called Hallucinate. It's this really deep purple right here, and I'm going to go along my lash line. So what I'm doing is as you can see me looking down, I'm literally tapping my brush into the water. I'm tapping it onto my palette so I can get that excess off. And I'm going into the corner here and I'm swirling that around. Now I need a little bit more water because it wasn't enough. Get the hallucinate on my brush, and then I'm going to line along my lash line. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have the purple liner along my lash line. I have the blue, which is the Cloud 9, along my crease, okay? All right, so after some trial and error, because I had actually put the pink liner here, as you can see on the back of my hand, but it wasn't blending as good as I wanted it to. Like, it wasn't standing out because of that purple. So I went ahead and just decided to keep it uniform and just to add the Cloud 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did it on the other side. Now you could always fix the end. I actually like it like that, so I'm going to do it on this side. But you could always fix the end because remember the colors are water-based, so therefore it's easy to take it off because you just have to use something that is water-based like a makeup white remover. So this is what we have so far. So we have the purple on the insides, and then there's a little pink right there, but I'm gonna fix that. And then we're going to leave the inner tear ducts for when I finish putting on my complexion. Go ahead and check out my complexion video, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish the eye. When I come back, you're going to see me with lashes on, but we're going to go ahead and focus on the inner tear duct, and we're also going to use some of the other colors to add to enhance the graphic liner, and then we'll be all set, so stay tuned. Go ahead and take my brush. I'm putting this on my palette just to establish some water on there. I'm going to take the Euphoria again, use the corner, rub it out until it becomes a liquid form on your brush. We're going to focus on the inner tear duct. Apologize about the noise, they're already added with the fireworks. And I'm going to take my brush, small tapping motions, extend it out. We want to bring this down like that, okay? All we're doing is we're just bringing it all the way down towards the side of our nose. What I want to do next is I want to take that After Hours color. That's that really sky blue color, so I'm cleaning off my brush. And I want to line it right next to that green color, that Euphoria color. Okay, you guys, so we're almost done with the graphic liner. So I'm not doing any more liner. I just want to show you how I will finish off my eyes. This Hypercolor palette has some really nice toppers. There's shimmers right here. So it's Lemon Drop, Daiquiri, Mojito, and Cotton Candy. I want to take the Cotton Candy and I want to put it in my inner tear duct. So this is the end of the tutorial. This is the graphic liner. I showed you quite a few ways that you could do it. You could pretty much just leave it at the deep blue that I use, but I went ahead and used some other colors because I wanted to show you guys how they swatch and how they rest on the eye, as well as how bright they show up on somebody that has a deeper skin complexion like me. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope that I made it easy enough for you guys to follow along. But of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe, and also comment while you're at it. While you're going ahead and subscribing, go ahead and follow me on social media. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube at the username Lover of Shades. I'll always get tongue-tied, never fails. At the username Lover of Shades. My blog will be back up by the end of the month. I'm actively working on that, and I think that is it. Guys, please stay safe. I know, like, at least in New York, the state is opening, well, the city's opening back up slowly but surely, but please still stay safe. I hope you guys take care. God bless, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.